Northern Packaging's accounts are in the red. Everything has been going wrong since the small family-run company was taken over by Robert Sullivan, the ultra-rich new media businessman. A heavy restructuring plan and the cancellation of some investments were all it took to plunge it into a serious crisis mode. Robert Sullivan is a business shark. His well-practiced formula works every time. He finds a small, floundering company, takes it over for next to nothing, brutally reorganizes it, then, after making a few minor financial enhancements, sells it off for a fortune. But this time, the formula didn't work. Northern Packaging has become a dead weight for the businessman. It could even bankrupt him. Luckily, the factory and the warehouses are insured. Very well insured, in fact. Sullivan doesn't mess around, even if he has to bend a few rules and get his own hands dirty. Nineteenth of April, 3:22 a.m. The alarm has sounded at fire station 615. A fire has broken out at Northern Packaging's warehouse, a small building next to the station. The fire started at several different places at once and is spreading extremely quickly, leading to arson being suspected. Care will have to be taken not to let the clues get destroyed. 21st of July, 8:30 a.m. The International Development Bank has been the target of a violent attack using heavy weapons. All witnesses agree that this looked to be a terrorist attack. The attackers, without leaving their vehicle, pulverized the building's entrance with grenades. A rocket has even passed clean through the bank and destroyed a large part of the hall. "8:34 a.m. When the rescuers arrive a few minutes later, the attackers' plan has become quite clear. Dressed as firefighters in stolen trucks, they take advantage of the panic to gain access to the building easily. "8:40 a.m. But fires don't always go to plan and are unpredictable. The fire has quickly spread and is blocking off all exits. The criminals have no alternative but to seek refuge in the only fireproof part of the building, the vault. "21st of July, 8:47 a.m. The alarm has sounded at fire station 615. The incendiary substances cast around from the attack make the use of special equipment necessary. But the boys from the 615th don't know another team is already at the scene and that the imposters are imprisoned in the vault. 1st of August. After a triumphant tour, Steve Roger is taking a break away from it all in one of his many sun-drenched properties, away from paparazzi, his fans, his agent, and his lawyers. Steve is enjoying the peace and quiet, games of tennis with friends, and sunbathing beside his pool. "12:34 p.m. Steve Roger collects cars. He likes to keep them near so he can admire and look after them. Some of the products used to keep this collection in good condition have overheated in the midday sun and burst into flames. This leads to an explosion which blows out the building. The news has reached the press before anyone has even got to the scene, and headlines are beginning to roll off the rotary presses. Steve Roger trapped in the flames. Then a second scoop quickly shakes up the editorial departments. Debbie Love is at the villa with Steve. Less than a week after having announced their wedding, both the stars' brilliant careers risk ending tragically. The men from 615 arrive at the gates of Steve Rogers' villa. The arid conditions at this time of the year help the fire to spread quickly. The property is very isolated, and the firefighters are going to have to be highly efficient with restricted means before the journalists start flocking to the scene. 8th of December, 11:50 p.m. A reception is just ending in the ambassador of Kyrgyzstan's private apartments. The last guests are lingering in the reception rooms on the 3rd floor. An explosion of unknown origin decimates part of the outside wall and violently shakes the building's entire structure. A raging fire in the west wing is threatening the rest of the embassy. Outside on the street, half a dozen cars whose drivers were taken by surprise have crashed into each other. The wounded and concussed passengers are starting to get out of their vehicles. The situation is becoming chaotic. Ninth of December, 12 past midnight. As the first team from Station 615 is rushing to the scene of the fire, a call comes in from a high-ranking government official. The ambassador and some of his more prestigious guests are trapped in one of the 3rd floor reception rooms. To make matters worse, the 3rd floor houses a collection of works of art belonging to the Kyrgyz national heritage, which must be saved at all costs. Quarter past midnight, the 615 team arrives at the scene. They have just been briefed over the radio. A government crisis cell is monitoring the operation in real time. An unusual pressure is being felt by the team. The loss of a prestigious work of art or the death of a VIP could provoke a diplomatic incident. 13th of November, Brad Johnston, an audacious young criminal, has just pulled off the near impossible. He single-handedly held up a branch of the American Trust Bank and is currently making his escape in a stolen car with $3 million sitting in the back. He has also taken a young bank worker hostage. Officer Maddox and his assistant Lawrence trail the vehicle, all heading for the city's center where the police have set up a roadblock. At the highway exit, the young criminal starts taking incredible risks to shake his pursuers. The car skids violently, taking all control away from the driver. An accident is unavoidable. At 2:52 p.m. The manager of the neighboring Pacifico station raises the alarm to fire station 615. The two vehicles that collided have caught fire. A tanker was refilling the station's cistern with LPG when the accident took place. The driver's desperate maneuvers were to no avail. The risk of an explosion is now huge. At 2:59 p.m. The 615 team arrives to tackle the raging fire, unaware of the criminal presence. He is wounded, panicked, and has $3 million in small notes. Notes which burn very well indeed. 11th of July, 1:02 p.m. Like any other day, the passing of the freight train is signaled by the closure of the level crossing barriers. Also, like any other day, Tom Hall, sitting at the wheel of his tractor, thinks he has plenty of time to cross before the train arrives. Three convoy wagons were transporting methyl isocyanate, a liquid used to manufacture certain pesticides. The gases emitted by its combustion are violently poisonous. At 1:09 p.m., the damaged locomotive ignites. The situation is made delicate by the proximity of a town, a gas tank situated on a storage area, and leaky chemical wagons. At the end of the tunnel, Two technicians trapped behind piles of metallic parts are struggling to free themselves from the convoy's second locomotive. 1:17 p.m. The boys from 615 arrive. They immediately identify the main danger: pollution. They have to act quickly, since the deadly gas is getting closer to the neighboring town every second. 4th of May, 6:11 p.m. The school day is coming to an end. The last pupils are leaving, and just a few teachers are left in the classrooms. The workers have already left the building site across the road. A storm brewing since the beginning of the morning is now reaching a preoccupying degree of force. The crane boom has just fallen flat on the school roof, and its metallic structure has destroyed the classrooms on the top floor and brought down an electric cable from the outside wall. Simultaneously, the crane's counterbalance was knocked off. The heavy concrete slabs have smashed through an adjoining building, blowing up a boiler in the process. .25 p.m. The men from 615 arrive on the scene and target the biggest fires on the building site. But the school buildings are now harboring a much more dangerous enemy than fire: electricity. 9th of June. A massive forest fire has been ravaging one of the region's largest wooded zones for 3 days now. Dozens of fire stations have joined forces. Operations are being organized in a military fashion, and operational HQ are coordinating the deployment of the firefighters. The fire has already devoured more than 8,000 hectares. It is now several miles across and seems unstoppable. The wind, which has been blowing increasingly strongly since the beginning of the disaster, is making matters worse. Since the vegetation is very dry at this time of year, it burns perfectly. Nothing gives rise to hope that the situation will improve in the next 24 hours. .29th of June, 4 p.m. The fire has gotten even worse over the last few hours. The westerly wind is now directing the flames toward a built-up area. It is highly likely that some people will still be there and are likely to come under direct threat before evening. .4:36 p.m. The men from 615 who were on alert up till now receive instructions from the operational HQ to proceed to a nearby zone. Their mission will be to make the location safe by ensuring that any persons still present are evacuated. To date, they have never had to deal with a forest fire. This is their first time. The heart of a nuclear power station is the reactor tank, containing fuel where nuclear fission takes place. The 8 surrounding generators send steam to the turbines, and then the heat is transported to the heart of the generators by the primary circuit, where sodium circulates at a temperature of several hundred degrees. The command room pilots the functioning of the heart, the power produced by the fission, and the security of the primary circuit pumps. This is the actual brain of the station. The information it receives from countless captors enable it to adjust the functioning of the reactor as precisely as possible. Steam from the secondary circuit make the 3 turbines function, driving the alternators that produce electricity, The turbo alternator group is located in the machine room, where, like everywhere else in the station, security is total. Fire Station 615 responded immediately to the call from the authorities, arriving at the scene of the most complex intervention of their career. They got there first and will be acting alone before backup arrives. With an accident like this, a few minutes could make all the difference.